Hi, Reverend Paula Zabkar here from Spiritual Soul Center. I need a deep breath today. Maybe you do too. Let's take a deep breath in and out. And just bring your attention, bring your mind and your heart into a place of stillness, into a place of receptivity, into a place of gratefulness for this exact moment in time. Letting all of the stress or buildup of today, however that is for you, and just let it go and bring yourself into this now moment. It feels good, doesn't it, to take that pause, Here at Spiritual Soul Center, you've heard this before if you've listened, that we are here to create a movement grounded in love and kindness that transforms us, our community, and the world. And it's evident to me all the time that love and kindness are the solution in so many situations. You know, I had a message prepared again today to continue this series on transformation, and then, you know, something happens and takes up the space in my mind, and I said, you know what, this is another Sunday message that comes out of the spontaneity of life. And that is, yesterday I was asked to do a memorial service for a friend and an acquaintance, really, that I was hooked up with through another friend, and her mother was 89 years old and passed away just this week. And also yesterday, Renee's uncle died at the ICU at New Hanover Regional Medical Center. And these two experiences of death, these two experiences of the death of the body, of letting go of this life as we know it here, I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about it before, actually, yesterday, and also as things unfolded yesterday for me as the minister at a memorial service, at a celebration of life service, and as a support for Renee as she was with her uncle and cousins and the brothers and sisters of her uncle at the ICU. And I thought that, isn't it interesting how when something critical happens in your life, when there is an event that really calls your attention, that you drop everything. You drop everything and go to attend to that. There is nothing in your way. There's nothing that takes over other than to be there, to be present to that. You know, for me it was, okay, I got a phone call on a Wednesday and we're having the service on Friday. You know, there was nothing more important to me than to serve in that way, to drop whatever I had planned, to make it happen, to be there, to be present, and to offer what I could to the family who'd lost their mom. It was the same way with Renee. You know, there was nothing that could stand in her way of being there with her uncle. That everything just drops away. Everything is secondary when there's something so important that happens in our life. And it's about this other human being, right? It's about the life of another human being and their transition in this case. And nothing was more important. Nothing would stand in her way of being there. And being there until he was on his way. So I think that's information for us to be reminded of, that when there is something important in our life, when there is something that demands our attention, everything else, no matter how important we thought it was up until that point, drops away. It drops away so we can be present to that. The other thing that I was thinking about is how we have this expectation in life, that we go about our daily business so often expecting, maybe subconsciously, but still expecting that nothing will ever go wrong, that maybe our life will go on and on and on. We don't think about there being an ending to it. Even at 89 years old, I was talking to this woman's mother saying, you know, it happened so quickly. It wasn't expected. In the case of Renee's uncle, he actually went into the hospital to have a surgery. And you know what? The surgery didn't work out the way he had planned. He had planned to come home. and he was not able to do that. His body gave out. His body wasn't able to recover from that trauma. And so often we have the expectation that everything's going to work out, that things are going to go on much longer than we expect. And it prevents us from having real conversations with each other. It prevents us from really pondering and sitting sometime in the stillness and recognizing the beauty of life, the amazing nature of life, how life is dynamic and just vital and throbbing and amazing. And we lose sight of that. We lose sight of that we aren't really in control of anything that happens outside of us. Besides our thoughts and how we bring ourselves to life, that's about it. You know, it doesn't work out that way. I have brought it down to this before that says anything can happen to anybody at any time. And everybody likes to shake their head and say, yes, that's what happens. But what does that call me to be, and how does that call me to be in every single moment of life? Because surely, today we are one step closer to leaving this body as well. Every day, every person on earth has that common nature. Each of us are one step closer to leaving this body, to inhabiting only our soul, to inhabiting only the spiritual essence that we are right now. All of this is not to convey some sort of morbid discussion that has to take place about dying. It's to inspire us to live, and to live with wide open eyes, to not close down, to not think, oh, it's not going to be me, to live just robustly as long as we're here. And to know that death is simply a transition. And while it hurts our heart, those of us who are left, while it puts us in that place of grief for the loss, to know, well, what I believe, that there is no end to the soul, that the soul is eternal. The soul is eternal. The soul was alive, had its essence, and inhabited this body for me. And the soul will continue on. Yes, we will turn to dust. This body is temporary. Let's remember that in life. So many things are temporary, and our expectations are not always met. But let's use that to inspire us into love and kindness, to inspire us into the next greatest possibility for our own life. That's what's been on my mind in these last few days. And I always believe that if it's been on my mind, it's been vibrating in the universe. It's been something that is wanting to be said. So I hope in that regard that you heard something that maybe you were looking to hear, or maybe you weren't looking to hear it and you're glad that you did. For whatever it is, let's take these ideas, let's take the feelings that you have, the feelings that I have, and let's take them into meditation today. So I invite you to begin by getting in touch with this body, this amazing organism, this amazing thing that keeps you engaged in the world. Let's take that deep breath in and that deep breath out, and let's sit for a few moments in gratefulness. Grateful for this time spent in the stillness, for the sound of the birds, for the rustling of the trees, the leaves in the trees, for the pulse of life itself, in me and in you, in the universe, this exquisite life. We are so grateful, and so it is. Amen. So let's close the way we do at Spiritual Soul Center like this. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be happy. May all beings be filled with loving kindness. May all be well. May all be peaceful and at ease. May all be happy. And amen.